And the next interviewees that I need to see are Dante and Changes. Changes. All right, come with me. All right. Well, hi. Let's start with, here, let me look over your resumes. Dante, yes, very impressive. Poet. I noticed you haven't been working a lot lately. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I've been doing a lot of traveling. I've been to Hell, Purgatory, and Heaven. I don't know if you've heard of them. You'll probably go to Hell if you haven't. It really gave me a lot of experience with different types of people and handling different situations. I'm really very intelligent because of the situation.
Well, Dante, welcome to Affluence Incorporated. And Changes, can you tell me a little bit about what kind of experience you've been up to lately? You know, what job opportunities have you been doing? So, what have you been up to lately?
Well, lately I've been actually on a media tour concerning my latest piece of literature, The Pompous American, and I've kind of become a symbol of hope for my native people from Pakistan, and so I've been promoting that and my ideals on what's become of the relationship between Pakistan and America.
Well, Dante, could you tell me a little bit about your work experience?
Well, I'm a poet. I have spoken to many different people, some of the most horrible people you have ever met. I've had the experience of interacting with, and I am very creative and very intelligent because of it.
Great, it's not a job. And what about you, Changes, sir?
Well, post-college, I worked my way quickly and efficiently to the top of a major technological corporation, one of the largest in America. However, unfortunately, I was the victim of racism following the 9/11 attacks, and apparently growing a full beard is a crime, so I was admonished and I left immediately after suffering that.
Very interesting. Would you elaborate a little bit on your experience with racism? Affluence Incorporated really prides itself on its racial equality, so what was your experience?
Yes, well, from my experience, I mean, as growing up and in my young adulthood, I never really felt too close to my religion. I was never very religious, but post 9/11, I just found myself growing closer and closer to Islam.
Do you know where you can find mosques?
What?
At the gates of hell!
Okay.
Here we go again.
All right, you guys, let's just bring it back in a little. We don't really. Okay. So I'd like to ask you guys a little bit more about your experiences. Would you guys mind telling me, starting with Dante, of course, telling me a little bit.
What is that supposed to mean?
Oh, Changes.
Maybe it's just clear who the supreme.
Stop. That was just the order. Okay. So, could you both tell me about an experience in which you had to work with others to achieve something that you could not have achieved on your own?
Well, as I traveled through hell, I had to rely on my guide Virgil. Do you know the poet Virgil? Yes, I know him very well. And he guided me back to my love, Beatrice. Over many obstacles, we were chased by demons, but because of my great people skills working with him, we were able to complete the journey.
That's great. That's a great story. Changes, would you like to share a time in which you worked with someone else?
Well, yes, I would have to say most recently, it's kind of a funny story actually. I was sitting down at a coffee shop with what I thought to be a very kind, just gentleman stranger, and we had a long talk, and afterwards he attempted to assassinate me. And I had to work side by side with a kind young waiter who saved my life, and we, saved me from being assassinated.
Well, if that isn't teamwork, I don't know what is. That's That's great to hear.
Precisely my point.
Waters.
Thank you.
Well, okay. I'd like to ask a little bit about your loyalties. We have a very strict confidentiality policy here at Affluence Incorporated. As you can imagine, with such an expensive enterprise, we have sometimes people leak information, and it can be very detrimental to our company. So I'd like to ask you a little bit about if you consider yourself a loyal person and why you consider that. Let's start with Changes this time.
Yes, I would definitely say I consider myself a very loyal person. If I had to elaborate, I would say that one time when I exhibited extraordinary loyalty would be when my fiancé girlfriend went mentally insane and I stuck by her side.
How can you consider yourself loyal? You betrayed the greatest benefactor that you were ever provided with, the United States of America. And you know where traitors end up? The 9th level of hell. I know, I've seen it. If Lucifer had a 4th head, he'd be chewing on you. Feet first.
How dare you insult me like that? You must be American. You're American, aren't you? See, this is why we tore down those towers.
Okay, that'll do, and you guys can just follow me out. Let's go. Oh, that was such a bad interview.
I'll say